Have you ever really stopped to think about what's happening under the hood when you ask a computer to do math? Well, today, we're going to pull back that curtain and take a deep dive into how Python handles numbers. We're going to go from the simple stuff you could do on any calculator all the way to some really surprising quirks that can trip up even seasoned pros. So, here's the game plan. First, we'll cover the 7 core tools for any calculation. Then, we'll talk about the rules they all have to follow. After that, we'll look at some handy shortcuts, 2 super useful operators you might not have heard of. And then we'll finish things off by exploring the truly weird world of decimal numbers. All right, let's start with the absolute fundamentals. You can, and should, think of Python as the most powerful and flexible calculator you've ever had your hands on. And it all starts with something we all understand. You type 5 plus 3 into Python, and yeah, it gives you 8. No surprises, right? But this super simple operation is the bedrock for everything else we're about to get into. Okay, so here is your full toolkit. You've got the ones you know and love: addition, subtraction, multiplication. But then things get more interesting. Regular division, that's the single slash, gives you the exact decimal answer. But then there's integer division with 2 slashes, which tells you how many times a number fits completely into another. Modulo, the percent sign, gives you the remainder that's left over. And that double asterisk, that's for exponents. You know, raising a number to a power. And here's the very first really crucial detail you need to lock in. In Python, that single slash for division always gives you back a decimal number. Programmers call this a float. So even if you divide 10 by 5, which we all know is a perfect 2, Python is going to give it to you as 2.0. It's a small thing, but that consistency is super important, and knowing it is a big step. So now we know the tools, but we also need to know the rules of the road. I mean, without a strict order for doing things, calculations can mean anything, and that's the last thing you want when you're writing code. So take a look at this. 2 plus 3 times 4. If you just read it left to right, you might do 2 plus 3, which is 5, and then multiply by 4 and get 20. But if you remember your old math classes, you might have a nagging feeling that's not quite right. The real question is, which way does Python think? And the answer is, Python follows the exact same order of operations that you learned in school. You might remember it as PEMDAS. Python will always handle anything in parentheses first, then exponents. After that, it tackles all the multiplication and division, just going from left to right. And only at the very end does it do the addition and subtraction, again, from left to right. And this shows you just how important that rule is. Look at the left side. Without parentheses, Python sees the multiplication and does that first, giving you 14. But on the right, by throwing in some parentheses, we completely change the order. We force Python to do the addition first, and we get a totally different answer, 20. See? Parentheses are your way of taking control and making your code do exactly what you mean. Okay, so beyond those basic operators, Python also comes with some batteries included. A few built-in functions that just make common math tasks a whole lot easier. First up is abs, which stands for absolute value. Think of it this way. It just gives you the pure distance between two numbers, and it doesn't care about positive or negative. For example, what's the difference between 8 degrees and 15 degrees? It's 7 degrees. Abs just gives you that clean, positive number. It's super useful. And then you have these two, min function and max function. They do exactly what you think they do. You can just throw a bunch of numbers at them and they'll instantly spit back the smallest or the largest one. It's a really simple but incredibly common thing you need to do, so it's great to have a shortcut. All right, now we get to 2 of my absolute favorite operators. They might look a little strange at first, but I promise, once you get what they do, you'll see them as this amazing power duo that can solve a huge range of problems. So let's compare again. We know regular division gives you that precise decimal answer. So 17 divided by 5 is 3.4. But integer division, the one with the double slash, it answers a different question. It asks, how many times does 5 fit completely into 17? And the answer is 3. It just lops off the decimal part entirely. And here is its perfect partner, the modulo operator, that percent sign. So after you fit 5 into 17 3 whole times, what's left over? Well, 2 is left over. That's what modulo gives you, just the remainder. It's the other half of the story. And this is where it all just clicks. Let's say you have 137 minutes, and you want to know how many hours and minutes that is. Easy. You just do integer division by 60 to get the hours, that's 2. Then you do modulo 60 to get the leftover minutes. That's 17. Boom, problem solved. 2 hours and 17 minutes. Okay, for our last section, let's get a little weird. We're about to venture into some territory that really surprises people when they first see it. It turns out that computers, as precise as they are, have a very strange relationship with decimal numbers. So have a look at this. In your head, what's 0.1 plus 0.2? It's 0.3, right? Of course it is. But in Python, and pretty much every other programming language, it's not. You get this crazy long number that's just ever so slightly off. So what on earth is happening here? This is something called a floating point precision issue. You see, computers store everything in binary, in ones and zeros. And just like in our decimal system, we can't write the fraction 1/3 perfectly. It becomes 0.333 repeating forever. Computers can't represent certain fractions like 1/10 perfectly in their binary system. That tiny bit of leftover number is the result of that imperfection. And this isn't a bug in Python. It's a fundamental part of how computers work. And the weirdness doesn't stop there. So another question for you. Most of us learned in school that if a number ends in 0.5, you round up. So what do you think Python does when you ask it to round 2.5? Well, you might be surprised to find out the answer is actually 2.
This is because Python uses something called bankers rounding. And the rule is simple. If a number is exactly halfway, it rounds to the nearest even integer. That's why 2.5 rounds down to 2, but 3.5 rounds up to 4. Over millions of calculations, this method is actually more statistically accurate because it avoids always rounding up, which can create a slight bias.
So with all these quirks, how are you supposed to handle it? Well, here are 3 pro tips. First, for anything you're going to show to a user, always round your final result. Second, never check if 2 decimal numbers are exactly equal. Instead, check if the difference between them is incredibly small. And third, and this is the big one for money, just don't use decimals at all. Do all your math and cents as whole numbers, and then only divide by 100 at the very last second to show the result. And really, that brings us to the key takeaway of this whole lesson. Every powerful tool has its own little nuances, its own quirks. And knowing the basics is great, but understanding these details, knowing why 0.1 plus 0.2 isn't quite 0.3, that's what allows you to write really solid, reliable code. That's what separates a good programmer from a great one. So I'll leave you with this to think about. We've just seen that computers can be just a tiny bit imprecise. So how do you think that tiny imprecision, when it's compounded over millions or billions of calculations, might affect critical software in fields like scientific simulations or climate modeling, or even the entire global financial system? It's a pretty big question with some fascinating answers.